We continue our investigation into Cincinnati public housing. People who we spoke with say they often feel forgotten, and they hope for some kind of correction action as soon as possible.
There are different reasons why people end up in public housing. Most of those we spoke with said it was the last place they expected to be. But as officials continue to sort through federal changes and a growing list of work orders, residents feel forgotten, and they hope someone is listening.
I don't understand. Do you care so little about your fellow man that it's okay with you that people are living in these conditions? It's wrong.
Slowly but surely they do something, but it's never enough and it's never soon enough. I just need more things to get done before somebody gets hurt. A lot of people don't feel safe living here. It's kind of sketchy for me. I mean, I really don't feel safe, but I'm not afraid.
I'm joined now by the women who collaborated on the year-long investigative report on Cincinnati public housing, Emily Maxwell and Lucy May. Why this topic?
We felt like it was important to get to know Cincinnati public housing. We didn't have a preconceived notion when we went in, but we knew that a lot of times the media only visits public housing when a crime has occurred, and we wanted to get to know our neighbors and how they live and who they were, so that's why we decided to do it.
And what did you find?
We found that a lot of residents have been living in these buildings for a long time, but their complaints were the standards of safety and maintenance have gone down over the years, and that they've been really concerned, and they just wanted someone to listen to their concerns.
Would you mind giving us a few examples of the standards of maintenance and living conditions in general that would raise red flags?
We were in one building that had wooden floors, many of which had buckled because of leaks that were kind of coming out of ceilings from other units or in bathrooms. That's a trip hazard, especially for older residents whose mobility is limited. We also were in a building where there was we were there after a hard rain, and there was water that was seeping from under these doors, kind of stinky water that the residents told us was sewage that was coming from a community kitchen that backed up almost every time there was a heavy rain. CMHA said they didn't think there was a correlation there, but we saw some nasty, smelly water coming out of this community kitchen. That was just a few examples.
Bugs too, right?
Yeah, we spoke to residents that have had a lot of bed bug scares, and they also say that they see their neighbors walking around with bed bugs on them when they're inside the elevators with them. So.
And actually, the first time we went to visit one of the towers, we were getting on the elevator and we saw this big, I assume it was a roach, I'm not a bug expert, but kind of crawling on the wall. And it was so big that one of the residents jumped away and took the steps instead of waiting for the elevator for fear that it would kind of fall on him.
So after a year-long investigation, is there a bright light?
Yeah, there are two solutions. One is more kind of oriented towards the building themselves, and that's this project called RAD. It's a federal program that's trying to find new ways for public housing authorities to get money to take care of these maintenance issues and these long-term repairs that have been put on the back burner because there just hasn't been enough funding. There's also a really cool solution in place here in Cincinnati to help the residents, and that's this JRAB Business Resource Center that we went to. Emily, I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I think the big thing is the residents we spoke with want to break the stigmas of living in public housing, and one way that they're doing that is by helping each other either create their own businesses or having a job resource center so people can be prepared to interview for jobs.
Wow. Emily, Lucy, thank you for shedding light on this very important topic. There's so much more there, and if you'd like to read more about it, all you have to do is go to WCPO.com.